Good morning, Keith Tebow from FRCMedia. Hopefully you're all faring well as we experience our first snowstorm of the 2020-2021 winter season. As I'm pleased to be joined, as I am on Thursday morning, even during a snowstorm, by the mayor of the city of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan. Mayor, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Keith. How about you?
Good. Let's just start with the storm. How's the city faring? How do the streets look? How are things going in terms of cleanup?
I talked to John Perry this morning. We had about 110 pieces out. I walked around a little bit on Oak Grove Avenue. It seems like they're staying on top of it. Obviously, the main streets, we brought in some additional pieces to keep the what we call our main connectors, like Eastern Avenue, Brayton Avenue, Plymouth Avenue, all open, and we're still working on some of the side streets. But I would say overall, our phones have been very, very quiet all night for people calling about anything. So that's a good sign in the city of Fall River.
And from what you hear, people adhering to the parking ban and doing their best in terms of making sure the streets are available for them to be cleaned?
Yeah, I think we gave out a bunch of tickets last night. Again, it's the first parking ban we've had in a while. I don't know if we did any last year, but people have to understand that we need to keep the roads clear for fire, emergency vehicles, anything that has to get down them, and that's why we put in a parking ban. It's not just for snow removal; it's for safety.
All right, and the city continuing to clean throughout the day as we head toward the storm ending later on this afternoon. A couple of other things I want to bring up briefly. Last week, the city announced that Government Center was going to be open by appointment only. That started on Monday. How did that go this first week? Or are some people still confused about the process?
Well, obviously, when we announced it, we knew we'd have to melt it in. We couldn't just tell people as of Monday appointments only. So we let people come in for Monday, Tuesday, and part of Wednesday, and we're doing okay. I mean, I was down at the desk the other day, and there was only a couple of people in the building. It's a very quiet time of year in Government Center anyway. So if we can do what we can to keep the crowd to a minimum, we'll do that and see how it works out. If not, we'll go back to open, whatever we can do to make sure the customers are being serviced.
Now, the COVID numbers over the past week have been, again, fairly consistent. Fall River, again, still on the higher end, the top 3 or 4 in the Commonwealth in terms of infection rates and the like. Any thoughts in your mind, again, about adding any further restrictions above and beyond where we currently are, which is, I believe, phase 3, step 1?
Well, you look at the restrictions that other communities have added, and they really don't even apply to us. Rope climbing and gyms. I'm a member at the YMCA, and I can't tell you what a great job they do down there in the morning. You're not allowed to be anywhere near anyone else. You have your mask on all the time. Every piece of equipment is cleaned as soon as you get off it. So I don't know how that could be any safer. I was down at that movie last week. They filmed at the Big Mamie that you had to be tested before you went on. You had to keep social distance. You had to wear an N95 mask and a screen. I don't know how that could be any safer. I think people, the problem where we are stuck on the numbers in Fall River really seems to be people that are sick or not feeling well, going to work, jeopardizing others, not being prudent, getting a test, go home, wait for your results, then go to work. But they're going to work. They're going to work sick, and it's. I know that some are asymptomatic, and I can't blame them because they don't even know they're sick. But the ones that don't feel well or are interacting with other people when they're sick, it's really bumping our numbers up. And these household gets-togethers are the other thing we're just keeping an eye on. And I really don't know what policy we could put in place that would limit that, and other than knocking on the door and counting people in houses, which we have no interest in doing, and we're not going to do.
Yeah. I know the governor this week also, again, trying to persuade people when the holidays come up to keep it limited to only those in their household. And hopefully we won't see another spike 2 weeks after the new year. We'll just have to wait and see on that. One other item this week, the Fall River Library announced that its South End branch will be closing at the end of the week. Do you have any other details? We understand that the lease was not renewed. Are there any talks about is this going to be a permanent thing? Is the city looking for another location maybe for a branch?
Well, what we've discussed, and obviously this is during COVID, is maybe getting a mobile library going. That way we could go to the Flint Senior Center one day a week, go back down to the South End, and move one of those mobile libraries around the city to accommodate people in different sections. And I think that might be a better way to reach out and help all the citizens have access to books, and maybe we can have a laptop or a couple laptops in there if they need to get on a computer for a little while, but we set up in different places. The cost on those is, well, I mean, we've seen anything from $100,000 to $250,000. So it's a little cost prohibitive, but I think if there's a way to do that, I think we can accommodate more people and get exposure to the library to more sections of the city. I envision it setting up in parks in the summer for kids and visiting our high rises and letting people take books in and check out if that's what they want to do. So we may go that route. A permanent lease, I don't know about at this time, but we're looking at other ways to get our library present in all sections of the city.
Now, was the lease renewed? Was it a city decision? Was it the landlord?
No, it was the landlord.
It was the landlord. So,
yeah, he had the other tenant in the building needed more space, and I guess they negotiated with the landlord to take over the entire building. So they're a very noteworthy nonprofit that just needed some additional space. We looked at the numbers of people that were coming and going out of that library. I think I saw maybe a high of 25 and maybe a low of 20 a day. So that it was costly. And again, we don't want to neglect the people in the South End. So we're trying to find a way to accommodate people across the city with additional services other than our main branch.
All right. Now, do we know what kind of savings the city's going to see budget-wise this year? I know that's always a consideration. It's not something you want to do when it's a vital service, but do you know how much the city may be able to save over the next 6 months?
I'm not sure of all the numbers, but I'd say somewhere between $100,000 and $200,000. There was only a couple of people working there, and it was a lease. So the lease is gone, and we'll move on.
And the library staff, I believe, is going to be moving to the main branch downtown, correct? They're not losing their positions.
No, they're not losing their positions. We've had a couple of openings, and we'll slide them right into there, and then we'll look at the long-term plan to get the library around the city.
All right. As we head to the weekend this Saturday, of course, hopefully people will still be snuggled in their homes. They'll be able to enjoy a concert on the CW with the Sons of Serendip. I had the opportunity to speak to the group this week. They're a great group of guys, and there should be a good concert for everyone this Saturday. Well,
I think it's going to be great. I think we've got 20 commercials that the CW gave us that they've been running at all different times to promote it. We've started to get some really positive responses on the social media. So if people turn in from 8 to 9, I'm sure they're going to see something they remember. And again, our goal next year is to get the band back live in Fall River to do a Christmas concert, but this year we just no way to pull it off. So we're going to try to do this as a substitute. The Narrows has been great. Bay Coast Bank has been absolutely tremendous. They've funded a number of city events, and this is one of them. Again, it's channel 813 on your local Comcast cable, and it's at 8 o'clock Saturday night. And I guarantee you will see some tremendous Christmas music.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. Well, Mayor, this is actually going to be our last conversation for 2020 over the next 2 Thursdays. It's actually Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And similar to Thanksgiving, I don't think we want to bother you on those days to enjoy the time with your family. So I want to thank you for all you've done this year. Merry Christmas to you and everyone at Government Center. Happy New Year. And we'll talk again in early January.
Yeah, and of course, same to you. And I want to wish everybody in Fall River happy holidays and happy New Year. Stay safe, stay strong. This vaccine's in Fall River now, but we need about another few 100,000 doses, and we'll get through this. So just hang in there with us. And again, thanks everybody for watching.
All right, Mayor. Thank you. Have a great holiday.
You too, Keith.